Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here with another Old School Labs quarantine special. With the current pandemic leading to worldwide gym closures, I previously shared Arnold Schwarzenegger's home workout in great detail, especially for those of you that don't have a home gym or gym equipment. Today I thought I would share two-time Mr. Olympia's Franco Columbu's home workout to add some variation. Enjoy. The program Franco recommended in his 1982 book titled Franco Columbu's Complete Book of Bodybuilding is quite different to Arnold Schwarzenegger's home workout and is performed as follows. You start off with a warm-up which combines firstly the hamstring stretch and then the standing side bend, after which you perform a series of abdominal exercises, namely the bent-legged sit-up, the bent leg raise, the lying side leg raise as well, after which you move on to resistance exercises such as the between chair push-up, lunges and forward bends, as well as between the door press. After all of these resistance exercises, you finish off the program with a high intensity cardio sprint burst where you run in place for several rounds. Now this particular workout should be performed at least, as Franco recommends, 3 to 5 workouts a week, and that entirely depends on your level of athletic capability, also on your time and other factors, lifestyle factors in general. If you are just starting out, of course, you can just perform it 3 times a week, at least that's what Franco recommends. If you're a gym junkie, of course, you can perform it up to 5 times a week. Now I will detail each of these exercises with some variations recommended by Franco. The first exercise listed is the hamstring stretch, and the stretches that begin this program basically act as a warm-up. Franco says that you try and breathe to help you relax, especially through these stretches. This will also help you in warming up your muscles. You want to stand and place one foot on a chair, keeping that leg straight. Raising both hands overhead, you bend at your waist and try and touch your toes, trying to reach all the way up to the toes basically. And you want to repeat that 10 times for each leg. And he does warn to not bounce in this particular motion because that can be counterintuitive. The second stretch in this workout is the standing side bend, where you stand with your feet wide apart with your hands on your hips. You bend slowly to one side as far as you can, holding this position for a moment, then you come back up to the starting position and bend slowly as far as you can to the other side. You don't want to force this movement, is something that Franco also recommends, but try and relax into it and stretch just a little more with each repetition. Again, repeat for 10 bends each side. For the first of the 3 different abdominal exercises, Franco recommends performing the bent-legged sit-up because it takes the strain off the lower back. It's essentially a crunching motion. You want to lie on your back, feet off the floor, either lying on the floor or on a bench as shown in the photo. You want to stretch your hands out above you and crunch. That is, lift your head and shoulders off the floor while bending your knees towards your chest. You can see Franco clearly doing that in this photo. And you want to repeat again. You can do that off the floor, on a bench, on an incline bench if you will, and they are, I guess, some of the variations that Franco recommends in his books. Again, repeat this exercise for 3 sets of 15 repetitions. The second exercise recommended by Franco is the bent leg raise, where you lie on your back again on the floor this time, hands under the buttocks and your head up off the floor. You want to raise your legs as high as you can, but keeping the knees bent to keep the strain off the lower back. Once you're able to do this, of course, you can try the variations as shown here in the photo, where Franco is actually bracing the bench and using his core to bring his knees up to his chest, but also bringing his butt off the bench. This is, of course, much more advanced. Again, with all of these abdominal exercises, you want to repeat for 3 sets of 15 repetitions. The last abdominal exercise listed is the lying side leg raise, where you lie on one side of your body, supporting yourself with your elbow. You want to try and keep your upper leg straight as shown in the photo. I know Franco is bending it, but he does recommend trying to keep your upper leg straight. And you want to bend your lower leg for balance. And I mean, he's on a bench, but if you're on the floor, you're going to find your balance is a little bit more supported by that lower bent leg than if you were to do it on a bench. You want to then lift your upper leg as much as possible to work the oblique muscles, and then you want to lower that leg slowly, but don't let it touch the floor. Again, repeat this exercise now for 3 sets of 20 repetitions for each leg. The first resistance exercise listed in this program by Franco is the between chair push-up, which I really enjoy. It's a quite different feeling to the push-up itself. You want to place 2 seats side by side as shown in the photos, with the sitting part of the seat facing each other parallel. So the chairs have to be parallel as well. That's very important. Then you want to place your hands onto the seats of the chair and basically brace yourself in a plank position with your legs outstretched behind you, and you want to be propped up on your toes, and you of course want to keep your body straight. Then you want to bend at the elbows and come down in between the chairs as deep as possible. This is very, very important. You get a very, very deep stretch in your chest, of course, and it really works the triceps, the front delts, and the chest, of course. And then you want to push back up and repeat for 3 sets of 10 repetitions each. You can, of course, vary the height of the feet and the positions of the hands and elbows to make the exercise even more difficult. Moving on to lunges now, Franco recommends doing this with body weight first, this exercise with the body weight. But of course, if you have dumbbells or a barbell at home, or even a weighted vest, you could use any of these, of course, if you want to add more resistance to this exercise. You start off standing upright with your feet together and hands on the hips, especially if you're doing it, of course, with body weight only. Keeping your head up and back straight, you want to step forward with one foot, which will now be called the forward foot, and you want to lower yourself by bending at the knees until your rear knee just about touches the floor. Push back off with your front foot, straightening both legs as you bring your front foot to the starting position right next to the rear leg. You want to repeat this for 3 sets of 10 repetitions for each leg. The forward bend is next, and although a lot of people might think of it as a basic stretch, it actually is a very challenging exercise for most of us. It actually works the lower back and hamstring when done in the method that Franco describes in this particular exercise. You want to stand with your feet hip width apart, your arms stretched overhead. This is very important. Arms should be stretched overhead and actually kept in line with your upper body throughout the motion. You want to bend forward at the waist and arch your back slightly as you do, again keeping your arms straight and in line with your upper body. Basically, as Franco says, try and keep your arms above your ears throughout the motion. And as you bend forward, you'll basically stop when your upper body is parallel to the floor. You don't have to touch the floor as Franco is doing in this particular photo. You can if you wish, but the idea is to work the back and the hamstring muscles, and the best way to do that is to stop when your upper body is parallel to the floor. Then you come back up carefully. At the top of the movement, you want to arch your back slightly. This is really going to create a strong contraction in both your hamstrings and in your upper back and lower back throughout the motion. You want to perform this exercise for 3 sets of 20 repetitions and really deliberately contract the hamstrings and back muscles as you do this exercise. The final resistance exercise given in this program is the between the door press. You want to stand in front of an entrance to a doorway and place your hands on either side of the door frame as shown in the photo. You want to straighten your arms and walk your feet back as far as possible. Franco does warn to make sure that your feet are not on a slippery surface because you could easily slip and fall forward. You want to bend your arms and let your body drop forward and through the door, keeping your body straight as you do, and push yourself back to the starting position. That is 1 repetition, and then you want to repeat this movement for 3 sets of 10 repetitions. The last exercise, running in place, is actually a very high intensity series of short sprinting bursts that Franco recommends performing, especially as a last cardiovascular session at the end of this workout. You want to stand upright and begin running in place. Once you've warmed up and a bit limber, you want to start lifting your knees now high, and as you do, basically you enter into a short sprint. You keep lifting your knees higher and higher, and you're basically doing sprints for about 10 to 20 seconds. These short bursts of high intensity running are going to wind you, and then you want to basically stop and take a short rest. You can continue jogging, for example, for about 30 seconds up to a minute, and then continue for another series of bouts of sprints. And you want to try and repeat these sprints until you're fairly exhausted. And then with each workout that you perform, you want to try and either increase the duration of each burst of sprint or increase the number of sprints in your workout. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video on Franco Columbu's home workout direct from his book from 1982. Here's a great photo of Franco and Arnold, of which you now have both of these golden era legends. You've got both of the home workouts from both of these golden era legends. Of course, Franco left us late last year. It was a very sad loss to bodybuilding, especially to us golden era fans. Of course, with this workout, I hope that you can perform it at home, as well as Arnold's workout, which I brought you previously. Stay safe, stay at home, keep training, and remember to keep it old school. This is the golden era bookworm. Bye for now.